The following program was produced by CTV Community Television.
Good afternoon and welcome to the commencement ceremony for the Marine City High School class of 2026. I am Sherry Becker, the principal of Marine City High School. On behalf of myself, Assistant Principal Chris Reinhardt, and the entire Marine City faculty, we are thrilled to celebrate this milestone with you. As we begin today's ceremony, let us first observe a moment of silence to honor the memories of friends and family members who are unable to be with us. Following this, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand for the moment of silence. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good afternoon, graduates, families, faculty, board members, and community members. It is a beautiful day for graduation, and today we celebrate a remarkable group of young people sitting before us, the class of 2026. Graduates, woohoo! Graduates, you made it. And let's be honest, there were probably moments when some of you weren't so sure this day would ever arrive. But today is not about deadlines, assignments, or alarms going off too early. Today is about possibilities. It is about celebrating who you are right now and the future that lies ahead for each of you. You are graduating from Marine City High School, a beautiful small town school. And my message today to each of you is this: small towns raise people differently, and it is something to be proud of. Right now, you may not fully appreciate what it means to come from a small town. But as the years pass, you'll discover that the lessons learned, the connections you made, and the support of this community are among the greatest advantages you carry with you. In our small town, people know who you are. We show up for one another and cheer for each other's successes. We bring meals when someone is hurting. We wave from pickup trucks. We sit together at sporting events and school concerts cheering and clapping because community matters here. Our world needs more of that, more of what you have to offer. As technology rapidly changes our lives, your generation will enter a future shaped by innovations we can barely imagine today. Artificial intelligence and new technologies will transform industries, medicine, communication, education, and nearly every part of our life. But no matter how advanced technology becomes, it can never replace what makes us human. It cannot replace compassion. It cannot replace character. It cannot replace sitting at the kitchen table talking with your friends and family members. It cannot replace calling home just to hear your parents' voices. It cannot replace checking on neighbors, helping a friend through a difficult time, or being present for someone who needs you. These moments of human connection are what create meaningful and fulfilling lives. So wherever life may take you, whether it's across the country or back here at home, remember to stay connected to the people around you. Call home, and not just a text, make the call. Visit often, check on your neighbors, and show kindness. Our small town values are not outdated. They are exactly what this world needs. Every single one of you is extremely special, and every single one of you has something meaningful to contribute. Some of you may change thousands of lives. Some of you may quietly change one life at exactly the right moment. Both matter. Never underestimate the impact of simply being a good person in a world that sometimes makes that difficult. Success is not measured only by titles, money, or recognition. Success is measured by the lives you will touch, the integrity you carry, and the difference you make. This Marine City community has watched you grow up. We have cheered for you, supported you, and believed in your potential long before you believed in yourself. and we cannot wait to see the awesome things you will accomplish. No matter where your journey leads, you will always carry a piece of our Marine City community with you. I hope that you will dream boldly, work hard, stay humble, and never forget where you came from. Class of 2026, please accept my sincerest congratulations on your graduation today. Go Mariners.
On behalf of Marine City High School, thank you to the East China Board of Education and Mrs. Saibula for being here with us on this beautiful day. We also want to express our gratitude to our incredible Mariner teachers and staff. Their dedication to fostering both academic and personal growth shows just how much they care about each student's success. The class of 2026 had 18 students graduating with the summa cum laude, the highest honor of distinction. Each of these students has maintained a cumulative grade point average of 3.67 or higher through 7 semesters. Representing the summa cum laude graduate is Allison Zubak, who is our top graduating senior. While Allison makes her way to the stage, we would like to recognize the summa cum laude graduates. Will these graduates please stand now to be recognized? Turn around.
Good afternoon to staff, families, and fellow graduates. My name is Allison Zubak, and I am incredibly honored to be your valedictorian for the class of 2026. Before anything else, I would like to honor the people who reminded me that my value was never tied to a number on a paper. I'd like to thank my parents and my sister Piper for always looking out for me, my friends who sit before me in the crowd, and the staff who continue striving to make the community a better place. When I was a freshman, I started preparing for this speech, and I know what some of you are probably thinking. What if you didn't become valedictorian? And truthfully, I never let myself think about that, not because I thought success would become easily, but because I only gave myself one option. I only gave myself a plan A instead of a plan B. When people imagine a valedictorian speech, they usually expect a long reflection on grades, the importance of hard work, and academic success. And while I do believe those things matter, I do not believe they define the story of who we truly are and the people we are born to be. Because beyond the assignments, the report cards, and the exams, the moments that shaped us most were often the quietest ones. Whether it was leaving behind magic on the marching field or recognizing that daily wave from that one friend, I learned the value of being there for others. We grew up in a world constantly told us that our worth could be measured through productivity, performance, and competition. From a young age, many of us were taught that success only mattered if it could be ranked. Society has shown us that success must occur in a certain way. In the end, many of us found ourselves chasing numbers. Somewhere along the way, people started believing that if they weren't able to excel academically, they were falling behind in life. Ultimately, we forgot that numbers were created to measure performance and not people. If the last few years have taught us anything, it is that people are more than just a GPA, a transcript. And while a GPA can measure grades, it cannot measure a person. Mental health is something our generation continues to openly recognize. We know what it feels like to be overwhelmed by expectations. We understand how easy it is to tie yourself to our achievements. We understand the pressure of feeling like every test, every assignment, and every grade determines our future. Our generation has been forced to confront mental health in many ways generations before us often ignored. And while many of us still fight battles nobody else can see, we continue surviving. There were nights when I believed my worth depended entirely on my success. But over the past few months, I have learned the opposite. I have found that some of the strongest people I know are the people who fought battles nobody else could see, yet still managed to show up every day. The people who balance school life with responsibilities at home. The people who struggled with burnout and self-doubt, except kept moving forward no matter what life placed in front of them. Writing this speech has made me realize that a person's ability to succeed are not limited to academics. I've come to understand that success is created by those who refuse to let the world around them define them and silence their ambition. There is no single blueprint for achievement. Not everyone is meant to follow the same path and have the same ambitions, and truthfully, that is what sets us apart from one another. One of the strongest things a person can do is define success for themselves instead of allowing the world to define it for them. Intelligence exists in so many forms. Some people are bound to become electricians, and some are destined to be artists. But within the structures that tend to rank and categorize people, I've come to realize that every single person, no matter their profession or place in society, has the ability to make a meaningful impact. Not just through their status, but through the way they treat others, the way they contribute to their communities, and the way they make people feel. We are constantly influenced by the developing world around us. We grow up surrounded by expectations that try to define who we should become. We are often told there is a right way to think, a right path to follow, and even a right way to succeed, and that anything outside of that is viewed as failure. But one of the most important things our generation can do is question those limitations. We can continue to reflect the systems that attempt to reduce people to statistics, labels, and expectations instead of recognizing humanity first. Progress has never come from people who blindly accepted the world as it was. It has come from those who are willing to challenge those expectations, think independently, and believe that people deserve the freedom to define success, identity, and purpose for themselves. As Martin Luther King Jr. once said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. One of the most important things we can speak up about is the value of who we are beyond our achievements. While academic accomplishments can open doors, they do not determine how kind you are, how resilient you are, and how creative you are, or how much impact you will make on the people around you. You do not need to be the perfect student to become an extraordinary person. Your future does not hinge on being the smartest person in the room. It awaits anyone willing to express their ideas, recognize themselves, and those who continue following their dreams. You were never defined by a number and never will be. Congratulations, class of 2026. Thank you.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the senior class president to the stage, Allison Walker.
Hello, I am Allie Walker, your senior class president. When I joined the student council in elementary school, it immediately sparked my interest, and I knew I wanted to be class president. Since that day, in 4th grade, I told myself I'd be here, and now here I am. My role this year was to plan senior events like Powder Puff, prom, and many other fun things throughout the year. None of this could have happened without my fellow senior advisors, Julia Letson, Lauren Muscat, and Madison Mackey. I would also like to give a big thank you to Miss Deach and Miss Bracken, our senior advisors, who helped keep me on schedule and played a huge role in planning everything that took place this year. And a final thank you to Miss Vogler, who is always a smiling face I could go to talk to in the office. Lastly, I'd like to thank my friends and family who have always been there for me. I think my parents and grandparents have attended every event from preschool all the way to here. I'd also like to thank my brothers, who played a major role in who I am today. With their guidance and advice, whether I asked for it or not, they've helped navigate me these past few years. When I couldn't figure out a math problem or needed help with my softball swing, I knew I could turn to them to help me. I remember being a freshman and feeling scared of high school. I wasn't scared of school or making friends. I was worried about what others thought of me. I worried about my outfits, my hair, or something I said earlier that kept replaying in my head. The biggest advice I can give to anyone currently or going into high school is to not care so much about that. Looking back, I don't remember any or every outfit I wore. I don't remember what days I woke up early and spent extra time on how I looked, and I definitely don't remember what anyone else was wearing or what they said. I think we all get so caught up on what others might be thinking about us, we miss out on the good things in life. What I do remember are the moments, participating in assembly games, no matter how embarrassing they seemed, going all out for spirit days, and showing up for the student section themes. Those are the things that stick with me and I'll remember throughout my whole life. My advice for those currently in school is to participate in everything. Go to the dances you might think are boring, because the more people go, the more enjoyable the dance seems. Do every assembly game because they are super fun and the student government puts a lot of effort into them. And lastly, do every activity you can. Go to every sports event you can and be friends with everyone around you because it truly makes your high school experience so much more memorable. So as we move into the next chapter of our lives, I think we all need to worry less on what others might be saying and just do what makes us happy, because that's what makes life more memorable. Like LeBron James said, I like criticism. It makes you strong. And honestly, once you stop worrying so much about what others might be thinking, you realize those little moments don't matter, but the memories do. Thank you, class of 2026.
Introducing Miss Erin Kurtz, the Director of Choirs for Marine City Campus, along with the chorale and senior choir members. They will be singing Vienna, the senior class song by Billy Joel, in the school alma mater.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile, but then if you're so smart, tell me why are you still so afraid? Where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You've got so much to do and only so many hours in a day. Hey, but you know that when the truth is told that you can get what you want or you can just get old, you're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize the end awaits for you? Slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you want to be before your time, although it's so romantic on the borderline tonight. Too bad, but it's the life you lead. You're so ahead of yourself that you forgot what you need. Though you can see when you're wrong, you know you can't always see when you're right. You're right. You've got your passion, you've got your pride, but don't you know that only fools are satisfied? Dream on, but don't imagine they'll all come true. Ooh, when will you realize the end awaits for you? child, then take the phone off the hook and disappear for a while. It's alright, you can afford to lose a day or two. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? Did you know that when the truth is told that you can get what you want or you can just get old, you're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, why don't you realize Vienna waits for you? When will you realize Vienna waits for you? Green City High, to thee we pledge devotion. In highest honor ever hold thy name. With loyalty as endless as the waters, which past us flow in sparkling majesty. With loyalty as endless as the waters, which past us flow in sparkling majesty. Thy glory's path shall be our inspiration. May all our deeds add to thy wondrous tale. Give us thy wisdom, courage, and devotion, as we reflect thy name both far and near. Give us thy wisdom, courage, and devotion. Be with us always, alma mater dear.
Thank you, Mrs. Kurtz and the choir members. I'd also like to thank Mr. Stephen Fox, Director of Bands, and his band members for their performance today. To the parents, grandparents, families, and friends who have filled this stadium with love and support, to the dedicated faculty who have guided these students, and most importantly, to the incredible, resilient, and unforgettable class of 2026, welcome to East China Stadium. As your proud principal, I have had the privilege of watching you grow over the last 4 years as high schoolers. I want you to take a moment right now to look around. Look at the classmates sitting to your left and your right. 4 years ago, you walked through the halls as freshmen. You were navigating an ever-changing building, figuring out your schedules, and carrying a mix of excitement and nervous uncertainty. Today, you sit before me in caps and gowns, standing on the very edge of the road unknown. Over these past 4 years, you have built an unbreakable foundation for yourselves. It is a foundation constructed block by block, born from the unconditional support of your families and nurtured through the chaotic, inspiring energy of our hallways, athletic fields, PAC, and classrooms. You have mastered the curriculum, written the essays, and passed the classes. But more importantly, you have learned how to adapt. You didn't just pass through our school, you transformed it. You grew into a class defined by compassion, determination, and an ability to bounce back from any obstacle. And that brings us to this milestone moment in your journey. Graduates, when you walk across the stage today, I want to give you one last assignment. Before you reach for the diploma, before you look for your family in the crowd, I want you to pause for a single moment. Pause and take a deep breath in. In this pause, I hope you give yourself credit for how far you've come and how much you've accomplished. Think about the late nights, the early mornings, and the quiet victories no one else saw. Think not simply of the academic lessons you learned, but the tough life lessons that have shaped who you are and who you will become. You're not the same person you were 4 years ago. You're wiser, stronger, and more resilient. You're one step closer to changing this world for the better simply by being you. As you sit in this pause, look ahead to what lies before you. Years from now, you will look back at this graduation day as a turning point, the start of making choices that affect your life. Robert Frost beautifully captured the weight of these life-defining choices in the final stanza of his famous poem, The Road Not Taken, writing, "I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." As you take that step off our stage today, you are stepping onto a path that will inevitably split, just like the one Frost described. Up until now, your route has been pre-programmed into a map largely drawn for you by parents, teachers, and school schedules. But when you leave us today, that automated route turns off. The steering wheel is entirely in your hands. You are setting your own destination, and you will encounter forks in the road where your internal GPS will be tested. Don't be afraid of the rerouting. Trust the drive. I want to urge you with everything I have. Do not be afraid to try the unknown. Do not be afraid to stretch yourself far outside of your comfort zone. True growth never happens in the cozy, familiar spaces of life. It happens when we are bold enough to step into paths less traveled. Sometimes, the path that looks the scariest, or the path you never in a million years thought you wanted, is exactly the detour you need. The absolute best things in life happen in those unexpected, unscripted moments. Embrace the wrong turns and detours. Now, let's be entirely honest. When you leave the structure of high school and take the road less traveled, not everything is going to go as you envisioned it. You will be lost, things will go wrong, and plans will fall apart. But as your class motto so perfectly reminds us in the words of Mac Miller, people change and things go wrong, but just remember, life goes on. The mistakes you made in the real world will not define you. They are not dead ends. They are just detour signs. They are the absolute greatest lessons you will ever receive. Think about when you first got your license and you missed a turn while using the GPS or Google Maps. The map didn't suddenly shut down, throw its hands up, and tell you to park the car forever. It just said, recalculating, recalculating. It found a new way around the block. Your mistakes are just moments where life forces you to recalculate. They don't mean you won't reach your destination. They just mean you're going to see a few new things you didn't expect along the way, and you'll be a much better driver because of it. And there is a beautiful hidden gift to your struggles. When you have been lost and had to find your way back to the main road, you develop a superpower called empathy. From your own mistakes and heartbreaks, you gain the ability to offer compassion to others who are currently lost in their own unfamiliar detour. Your failures will become the very tools you use to lift someone else up, allowing you to say, I've missed that turn before. Let me help you find the way through. As Billy Joel so brilliantly reminds us in your class song, Vienna, slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you want to be before your time. In a world that demands you to constantly rush, to have a 10-year plan, and to achieve instant success, please remember what we've tried to teach you here. You don't have to have the rest of your life figured out by sunset tonight. The Vienna waiting for you is your future, and it will be there, waiting patiently. You don't need to rush through the messy parts. Just live them, learn from them, and give yourself grace. Before I hand over these diplomas, please remember to look back one last time today. Take a moment right now to look into the crowd and thank the people you rely on most. Look at your parents, your guardians, your families, and the faculty members sitting along the perimeter. They are the ones who held you up when you wanted to quit, who celebrated your small wins, and who loved you through the growing pains. They have been your loudest cheerleaders and your sturdiest building blocks. Never forget your roots. When you choose to step off the beaten path and take that road less traveled, it is easy to feel lost, and your internal GPS will definitely have to recalculate a few times. This is why your roots matter so much. The families who raised you, the teachers who guided you, and the Mariner community that molded you right here, they are your home signal. They are the foundation and building blocks that allow you to venture into the unknown without ever losing sight of who you are. Your roots aren't meant to keep you safely parked. They are the parking spot at the beginning of a long, meandering road, a road that will wind through unexpected valleys, curve around sharp cliffs, and take you places you never planned to go. But no matter how many twists and turns that road takes, the strength of where you started gives you the stability to keep moving forward, to grow upward, and to become a true contributor to society. William Shakespeare once wrote, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." Class of 2026, as your principal, I can tell you with absolute certainty that you already possess extraordinary gifts. You have proven to all of us that you are a generation of adaptability, of compassion, and of determination. Your task now is to take those gifts out of the stadium and into a world that is waiting for you to pave the way. Don't play it safe. Take the unknown path. Chase what you want with everything you've got. On behalf of the entire Marine City family, congratulations, class of 2026. The road is officially yours. At this time, we would like to present the diplomas to our graduating seniors. We ask that you please hold your applause and cheers until after the final student has been recognized in order for each family to hear their student's name.
Allison Jean Walker. Julia Marina Letson. Madison Ann Clark Mackey. Lauren Olivia Muscat. Allison Delia Zubak. Anna Elizabeth Fox. Alexander Michael Teed. Elizabeth Lauren Tucker. Lily Ann Carruthers. Earl Edward Beatty. Nolan James Babel. Allie Marie Markle. Mackenzie Lynn Guzowski. Chloe Marie Petrino. Kaylee Ann Kettlehut. Ava Grudich. Lincoln Bryant Osterlin. Benisway Corrine Gangler. Gina Lynn Fowler. Annabella Judith Ames. Kiana Lynn Amy. Zachary Robert Andrews. Emma Lee Arnold. Joshua Logan Ashman. Reese Roseman Atkinson. Waleed Azar. Aveline Aria Baumgartner. Nathan Allen Beaker. Adrena Marie Bearden DeRocher. Madison Renee Becker. Kendall Grace Bebach. Austin Michael Brown. Ella Catherine Burkholder. Donald Nathan Cartwright Jr. Madeline Jean Champion. Cash Alexander Chapman. Ethan Michael Chipman. Landon Timothy Cole. Joshua Patrick Conover. Gabriella Mariana de Gasparis.
Lucy Maria DeWitt. Melinda Margaret Dietlin. Dakota Allen Droptini. Nicole Marilyn Drulard. Haley Renee Deach. Wyatt Charles Duval. Maverick Owen Dyer. May Leanne Fackler. Jeremiah Jonathan Ficht. Ella Rose Ford. Bree Dawn France. Addison Elizabeth Frazier. Edward James Forgetto. Aiden Lee Goshke. Jonathan Michael Hand. Finley Lachlan Hatcher. Lucienne Grace Hendricks. William Michael Sean Higby. Cadence Clover Hines. Reese Allen Hopkins. Brooklyn Belle Renee Ibrahim. Isabella Marie Justice. Claire Marie Karcheski. KJ Kovaleski. Seuss Kuipers.
Chloe Elizabeth Lafreniere. Tristan Caleb Laws. David Stanley Long. Elizabeth Lee Masano. Madison Riley Marlette. Gabriel Jason Martin. Cameron Mark Matthews. Austin Timothy McCabe. Caitlin Marie Mativia. Jeremiah Donald Mahalski. Drew Addison Mitchoff. Austin Richard Miller. Danica Julie Irene Miller. Landon James Miller. Marshall Tyler Miller. Michael James Myron IV. Holden James Mittler. Logan James Morrison. Audrey Ray Northrup. Jacqueline Ray Northrup. Jeremy Allen Parker. Aiden Matthew Herrick. Tegan Ray Pondo. Austin Scott Price. Ty Randall Proctor. Kira Ray Provost. Chase Carter Ramsey. Nicholas Leo Rufino. Faith Lynn Sanborn. Brian David Satterley. Landon Joseph Schulte. Jocelyn Renee Schultz. Lillian Marie Schenk. Aiden James Chauvin. Dylan John Seekin. Amelia Ann Stevens. Haley Joe Townsend. Gayton Lewis Urbani IV. Lillian Ray Worsham. Lily Marie Gottler. Zoe Elizabeth Nicole Kirk. Benjamin Joseph Van Buskirk. Lawrence Landon Van Team. Ava Jean Whalens. Lily Ann Whalens. Aurora Rose Wallace. Lola Jean Wozniak.
Class of 2026, please stand. Turn and face the bleachers in order to be recognized as graduates of Marine City High School. You may have a seat. we conclude this ceremony and send our newest alumni out into the world, we have a very few important people to thank. An event of this scale does not happen without a dedicated team working tirelessly behind the scenes. First, a huge thank you to our custodial crew who worked with us in St. Clair High School to make this beautiful outdoor graduation a reality. Everything we asked of them, they made happen, always with a smile. A heartfelt thank you to my wingman, Kelly Vogler, for her incredible work in preparing both our honors convocation and today's ceremony. Countless hours went into making these events meaningful and memorable, and I am truly grateful for her dedication and her love for our students. I'd also like to thank Ms. Bracken for her dedication as senior class advisor. Thank you for guiding this class through so many unforgettable milestones this year, from the early morning of senior sunrise, senior field day, and sunset, all the way through to this afternoon. You met every single challenge with heart and commitment, and because of your leadership, these Mariners are leaving today with memories that will last a lifetime. And finally, to the parents, families, friends, faculty, and mentors here today, thank you for standing by these graduates through every step of their journey. Your support over the past 18 years has been invaluable. You have been their loudest cheerleaders and their sturdiest building blocks. As they move forward, that support does not end today. It simply changes shape. It will continue to be a vital part of their success because as they encounter the forks in the road ahead, your love and guidance will always be the steadiness that gives them the courage to keep moving forward. Class of 2026, take a look at your diploma covers. You made it. You worked hard, pushed through challenges, and grown in many ways you may not even fully realize yet. Today is a milestone, one that marks both an ending and an exciting new beginning. As we come to an end of the celebration and prepare to dismiss you, it is time for one last pause. Up until this moment, we have all been gathered here together in the fork in the road. But in just a few moments, you are going to put the car in drive. Wherever life takes you next, whether it's college, a career, travel, service, or a path less taken that is still unfolding, I hope you carry with you your lessons, the laughter, and the unbreakable friendships of these Mariner years. Remember what we talked about today. When the road gets a little bumpy, give yourself grace. When you miss a turn, don't panic, just recalculate, trust the drive, and keep moving forward. Keep your curiosity alive, your values strong, and your heart open to the empathy that your journey will bring you. Go out into the world and live your best life, boldly, kindly, and authentically. You are a generation built on adaptability and determination, and the world is ready for you to pave the way and leave your mark. We are so incredibly proud of you. We believe in you, and the entire Marine City family can't wait to see what you do next. Congratulations, class of 2026. Seniors, at this time, please stand. Move your tassels to the left side of your cap. And congratulations, graduates.
preceding program was produced by CTV Community Television. CTV Community Television is supported by the cities of Marine City and St. Clair, East China Township, Cotterville Township, and the East China School District.